Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Nighthawks podcast, the cinema-centric podcast for those of you who like to stay out after dark. Folks, I am one of your hosts tonight. My name is Trevor T. Trujillo. I have a special guest co-host in the diner with me tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Charity O'Honigan.
I make it no secret that the Nighthawks podcast is one of my personal favorite shows, so it really is an honor to be here.
And that's why we had her on the show, folks. This is the first time, I believe, that we're taking a pick from the Apple on a fully animated film, and I believe it is our first foray into Disney. Charity and I watched the 1995 Disney classic animated film, A Goofy Movie. To talk about Pete, they either used Pete too little or too much. Like, the amount of Pete in this kind of bothers me. He shows up at one point and he's just basically there to be the little devil on Goofy's shoulder and just give him really bad parenting advice and then disappears until he's needed again.
Yeah, he just shakes the snow globe and then kind of fades back into the background.
Right.
First off, Trevor, would you like to know the history of Pete?
All right, strap in.
Because I'm sure that Pete's a cat. And so I looked and I was like, okay, yes, he has to be a cat. And yes, Pete is a cat. He was originally Pegleg Pete or Black Pete, but he was originally an anthropomorphic bear.
Whoa!
So with the advent of Mickey Mouse in 1928, he was defined as a cat, but this could be the answer as to why he doesn't look anything like a cat. Because he was a bear cat.
Now, he must have started like back in the old Alice cartoons or something then.
Yes, 1925 is when he was created, and Mickey Mouse wasn't created until 1928.
So there's a trivia
for 3
point
years.
Yeah.
And you're right, he debuted in the cartoon Alice Solves the Puzzle.
Okay, so those Alice cartoons are actually really cool. Everybody watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit in 1988 and thought it was a technical marvel, and it is. It absolutely is. Mm-hmm. But the combination of live action with animation dates back to that very series of shorts, is the Alice shorts. And it was a live action little girl interacting in a cartoon environment with cartoon characters. And that was before Disney was working for himself, I think. He was working as an animator producing those shorts for a different company before he would eventually move on to his own. That's really cool. So that means that Pete, who is the antagonist in most of the Disney cartoons, he's a cat. You've got your big three, which is Goofy the dog, Donald the duck, who is a bird, and Mickey Mouse. Your three main protagonists are all antagonized in nature by cats.